look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to be discussing with you right now, y'all, is I'm going to talk about female nature decoded. And I'm going to give you my point of view about this. Of course, I'm going to play some clips in this reaction video. But I need y'all to have a little patience with me because the way I'm going to break it down, man, I got to break it really, make it real simple from my point of view. But I think y'all get what I'm saying. I'm going to make it tie into how modern women act today. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started with the first clip. Give me a second as I pull it on your screen, y'all. One moment. Boom. All right. Oops, wrong one. All right, let's get it.
So many grown women are still dealing with the aftermath of having to grow up with toxic mothers. And even if it happened years and years ago, you're still seeing the effect of things that happened when you were a child in your everyday life. And the reason is that toxic mothers can have a number of effects on their daughters well into adulthood. I work with many clients that are still struggling with it, and it's one of the hardest things to overcome because it's more than just having low self-esteem or emotional damage, right? Women that had toxic mothers also had relationship issues. So toxic mothers may be a model of unhealthy relationship dynamics leading to their daughters having difficulty with trust, intimacy, communication in their own relationships.
Okay, let's start right there, y'all. All right, I want to talk to you about the subconscious and the conscious, okay? Your conscious, I got to break it down like this now. Your subconscious is responsible for influencing your decision-making, your reactions, your habits, and your reactions. For example, your subconscious is not swayed by intellect, but it is swayed by ingrained beliefs as well as emotions. Now, your consciousness is your everyday, every moment awareness. For example, like I said, I got to break it down like this. When you decide to get in your car and you drive left, you are conscious of the fact that you took a left turn. When you decide to keep straight, you are conscious of the fact that you're driving straight. When you decide to take a right turn, you are conscious of that. All right. Now, for example, when you are trying to find a location that you've never been to before in your life, and you have to listen to MapQuest, you have to find your way there. You're conscious of everything. You're conscious of the landmarks. You're conscious of what you're seeing on the way over there, so you can memorize that. Your memorization, your ability to memorize, it has a connection with your subconscious. Okay. Now let me break it down a little bit further than that, so it'll be easier. When you was a kid and you try to learn how to ride a bike, you had to be conscious of how to pedal the bike. You had to be conscious of how you work the brakes on the bike. You had to be conscious on how to balance yourself on the bike, right? Now, your subconscious observed and recorded your attempts to learn how to ride the bike. That's why you can get onto a bike and don't have to relearn how to ride a bike because your subconscious has recorded it. It is a habit. It is how you know how to do things. All right, now, let me get to what I'm talking about now. When there's a woman who's been raised by a single parent, who is a mother, who governed that household, there are some toxic mothers that would directly tell their daughters not to trust a man, break a man's pockets. You're better off doing you, get your education so that you're no longer in need of a man, that you are equal to a man. There's someone who just like who will tell their daughters that directly. They absorb this. Your subconscious also absorbs everything. But I want to talk about the ones who indirectly teach their daughters things. Now, what I mean is, if a woman who was raised with a mother, saw her mother be disrespectful to men, she's not teaching her daughter that directly to be disrespectful to a man, but that daughter is absorbing that in her subconscious. If she grew up and she saw her mama be very profane, unruly, promiscuous, bringing in and out of men in and out the household like that, she's going to start thinking, okay, this is the type of behavior that I should be displaying when I become an adult. She's absorbing all the negative things that her mother did, even though her mother did not directly tell her to get different men, even though her mama didn't tell her have random men come over. No, even though she didn't tell her daughter be disrespectful and cuss out a man if you feel like he disrespects you. She didn't tell her that directly. She just observed that, and it became a part of her subconscious. I hope I'm making this. I'm trying to keep from stumbling here because I'm passionate about it. But basically, this is why most men are having difficult problems with these women that they are dating, because they are dealing with women who are programmed to be disrespectful. They are programmed to be hoes. They are programmed to be selfish and just mean and unpleasant because she have learned this inside her home. Now, I want you to understand something. Let's speak about culture. American culture. There is one American culture, but inside of America, there are many types of cultures. For example, you got your blacks, you got your whites, you got your Latinos. But even within the black community, each home has a different culture. What do I mean? A culture is simply a way that a certain group of people do things. Like you have your holidays, you may wear certain things on certain days, stuff like that. That's the culture. Now, when a child is brought up in a single parent home, that is a culture there, okay? There's a culture of being in survival mode at all times, okay? So a daughter can pick up all these things inside the culture of that household. Now, for example, if a daughter is being raised by two parents in the household and she's, how can I say, and they're depositing love on her. They're giving her words of affirmations. When they are guiding her, teaching her right, teaching her to value herself, teaching her how to value men and stuff like that, that is the culture of that household. So she will pick that up and take those things that she learned in the culture of that household into relationships that she get into. So hear me out right now. This is why when you get a woman who comes from a two-parent household, a healthy two-parent household, she is easier to get along with. She is willing to follow your lead because she saw that growing up. Not because her mother or daddy directly told her this is how you need to be, but she got to observe how her mother functioned as a wife and how her father functioned as a husband. None of that baby mama, none of that baby daddy. She actually got to see how it goes in a nuclear family, so that became a part of her. Remember, I told you, your subconscious is your emotions. It's influenced by your emotions and ingrained beliefs. It is a belief for a woman who come out of a two-parent household that there's a certain type of behavior, a certain type of dynamic that must be displayed. There must be a certain type of interaction between a man and a woman because she has absorbed that into her subconscious. Your subconscious is like brain mapping. Your subconscious is always recording everything you do. This is how it comes you got bad habits. If you ever been in a situation where you used to always fight people, always want to jump on people and stuff like that, and then you have to control yourself when someone get out of line, it's because you have an ingrained belief that you should put your hands on a person that disrespects you because somewhere along the line you saw that, you observed that, and you was taught that. Indirectly or directly. Even I struggle with that. Now, I hope I made sense here. I know I stumbled a lot, but I'm passionate about this particular topic. I want you to understand, a lot of these daughters, they are the way that they are because they have observed and have been taught indirectly through the actions of their mothers on how to be disruptive, how to be disobedient, how to not submit to a man, how to be disrespectful, and how to be selfish. Even though they might not have been taught directly. And there are some toxic mothers who do teach that directly, but majority of them don't. They just live their lives in front of their children, and then their children try to emulate what they see, and it becomes a part of them. So when you get a man who comes from a two-parent home, or a man who is just productive and trying to be positive, if he comes from a one-parent home, he's trying to do the best he can. When he meet one of these type of women, he goes through hell because of the programming of that woman. Sometimes we call it the hive mind. But it's not. It's just basically programming. Your mother has programmed you to be a thought. Your mother has programmed you to be disrespectful. Your mother has programmed you to be unreasonable. Okay? A lot of these women mothers are baby side chicks. Did you hear what I'm saying? A lot of these women are raised by mothers who were side chicks themselves. Now let's keep going.
Right. And they also, it becomes very difficult for them to set proper boundaries. They haven't learned how to do so in their own relationships with their mom, so how are you going to do that with anybody else? Everyone is affected differently by their relationships with their mothers, and not all daughters of toxic mothers will experience these effects in the same way. But on the road to healing, the most important thing is to really hone in on why you feel or respond in a certain way. When you really dive in, you start noticing connections of problems or treatments that you had with your mother a long time ago. Healing these old wounds is going to change your life and your future relationships with people.
Yeah, man. A lot of this, y'all, is just basically your subconscious, man. Now, if you think I'm wrong with anything I say, I looked it up first, you know what I mean? But you feel free to go look up what your subconscious does and what your consciousness does. Look it up, and you'll find out I didn't lie to you, that I wasn't wrong about it. And yes, can you change the programming in your mind and your habits and your reactions? Yes, you can. But you have to make different decisions and be in a repetition of new behaviors in order for your subconscious to actually absorb that and to be able to change the way you react to things and to be able to change the way that you think, okay? You can look that up for yourselves. You can find that out for yourself on how to do it, but it can be done. But this is why we are struggling so much with these women right now, because of what they have been going through as a child. I hope this helps somebody. I apologize for stumbling, man. Like I said, when I get all passionate, man, sound like Bill Cosby. I mean, yeah, but it is what it is, man. All right. So what you have witnessed is the birth of the musty back heifer. All right, y'all take it easy, man. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all be easy now, yeah.